So here is how they line up, starting with the French national team. It is a 4-3-3 formation. Hugo Lloris is the goalkeeper. Presnel Kimpembe pairs with Rafael Varane at central defence. Lucas Hernandez and Benjamin Pavard complete the back four as right and left full back respectively. In midfield you have Paul Pogba, N'Golo Kanté and again Rabiot. Up front, Karim Benzema starts with Antoine Griezmann and Kylian Mbappe as Olivier Giroud is left out of the squad. For Germany, it's a 4-3 formation. Rudiger, Hummels, Ginter, the three at the back. Manuel Neuer, of course, the goalkeeper. In midfield, you have Robin Gosens, Toni Kroos, Ilkay Gundogan, Joshua Kimmich. And up front, you have Thomas Müller, Serge Gnabry, and Kai Havertz as Timo Werner is left on the bench. That's really it, Dockers. The talking points in terms of how the teams have found out. It's the striking positions. Karim Benzema gets the nod ahead of Olivier Giroud, who is France's second all-time scorer. And Timo Werner of Chelsea is left on the bench, preferred Serge Gnabry, who is not a natural centre forward, preferred to the striker.
For France, Karim Benzema is expected to start due to how he has been playing in recent times and also scoring goals. Remember that he just got recalled back to the national team, and when he came back, he scored also in the friendlies as well, heading up to this particular tournament, the EURO2020. So it is as expected. For this man in Olivier Giroud at Chelsea, he isn't a starter in the team, and he doesn't get to play much. He doesn't get a nod over Timo Werner, not even to Kai Havertz, and not even to any of the strikers. So it is as expected. Didier Deschamps is a man that understands and knows how to use that man, Olivier Giroud, and I'm sure as the game progresses, he's going to bring in that man. As the tournament progresses, he's going to bring in Olivier Giroud subsequently into the game. But for now, I think the best option for France is to stick with Karim Benzema. That guy is a goal poacher. He knows how to get the goals, and hopefully he'll get to do that today against Germany. And it's same thing is applicable here to with the German national team. With Timo Werner not starting, yes, Serge Gnabry gets the nerd, but he is a really good goal scorer too as well, scoring 10 goals in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich in the previous season that just ended. And Timo Werner in all competitions, he scored around roughly, let's say around in all competitions, he scored about 12 goals in all competitions. And in the English Premier League alone for Chelsea, he scored 6 goals. So yeah, you want to look at it like Serge Gnabry should be able to get the nerd, but for Timo Werner, he just played his first season with Chelsea and just completed a season, and hopefully he's going to be a regular starter and also score goals for the team, Chelsea.
Pre-match formalities currently taking place as referee Carlos Del Cerro Grande from Spain gets us on the way. It is France kicking the ball from left to right, cladding the all blue, of course quite in line with the nickname Le Bleu. It is Germany in all white, kicking from right to left, cladding all white. That's the way it is. It is the Germans currently in possession. Mats Hummels going all the way to Joshua Kimmich down the far right-hand side of the France half of the pitch. Hummels finds Serge Gnabry, who's gone all the way back to midfield to have a feel of the ball. Ginter still with the ball. The Germans retreating into their own half. Mats Hummels in the early stages, the Borussia Dortmund defender, having a lot of touches. As the Germans passing quite nicely back to Ginter. Now Captain Manuel Neuer will get his first touch of the game. Neuer shifts to his right-hand side to pick out Ginter. Ilkay Gundogan. Joshua Kimmich looking for Thomas Müller. N'Golo Kanté would intercept the France number 13. Germany with a throw onto the feet of Ginter. Here is Rudiger. Finds Robin Gosens. Robin Gosens with a long ball forward, searching for Serge Gnabry. This is Kai Havertz on the ball, supported of course by Serge Gnabry, who has gone into the 18-yard area anticipating the cross, but Kai Havertz would return to Gosens as the Germans keep enjoying the ball possession in the early minutes.
It's just at the start of the game, and it's just 3 minutes into the game, and lots is expected from the two sides when it comes to attacking as well as defending, especially from the France national team. But at this point in time, the Germans are pretty good passing the ball among themselves and trying to open up the France team. Hopefully they could do that to get a goal, but for now we'll just see that the both teams are just ably sizing up themselves, and probably as the game goes on we get to see a fluid game as the game progresses.
Well, this Group F opener is a repeat of Euro 16, a semi-final, 1-2 goals to nil by France. 2 years after Germany had beaten them in the last 8 of the FIFA World Cup in 2014. Both teams have frequently featured in knockout stages of recent editions. Although holders Portugal, who beat France in the 2016 final, being in Group F, the importance of a solid start for both sides will not be lost, as Germany have a free kick down the right-hand side of the France area to be taken by Kimmich, whipped into the 18-yard, looking for a shooting right. Would pick out Matt Hummels, but the defender could only head high and wide and wouldn't trouble Hugo Lloris.
It was just way across at the bar. It wasn't anything for Hugo Lloris to worry about, and not even for the defenders from France to also worry about. And Germany will have to be better if they want to be able to score a goal against a very strong defense lineup from the French national team. They have Benjamin Pavard, Raphael Varane, Kimpembe, and also Hernandez as well. So it's a very strong defense lineup from Didier Deschamps tonight.
Strong lineup from Didier Deschamps, and quite rightly so, Docus. France Germany have to work really hard if they get a result over France. France have won 14 of the side's 31 fixtures, compared to just 9 for the Germans. France's away record in Germany stands at 4 wins, 4 draws and 5 losses, and they are unbeaten in their last 5 of such contests, winning 3 and drawing 2 since a 2-1 friendly defeat in Berlin in August 1987. Germany on the ball in the shape and form of Matt Hummels, who would find Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger searching for options, approaching the halfway line. Don't forget Germany cladding all white, to kick in the ball from right to left. Here is Cruz. Gosens will launch the ball forward, looking for the lanky man, Kai Havertz. Ball will rest now on the feet of N'Golo Kanté. Kanté finds Lucas Hernandez. Pavard, the Bayern Munich man, coming forward, finds Pogba, who had just dropped the ball at the feet of Antoine Griezmann, looking to release Benjamin Pavard, who kept on running forward. Thwarted by Toni Kroos, but the French will still keep possession via throw-in, to be taken by Benjamin Pavard.
We're yet to see any excitement from this game. We're yet to see that, but these two teams are really big, and big names when it comes to football across Europe and also in the world. So it is a lot is expected in this game, and I really want to see more action, more feistiness from the players on the field.
5 minutes into it, make that 6 minutes. It is still Germany 0, France 0. Here's Muller with a long throw into the box, picking out Kai Havertz, the number 7 for Germany, but the Chelsea man won't control properly, and the ball will drift away for a France goal kick.
Talking about the German team, the entire German team that is present in this tournament haven't scored a Euro goal in their careers. That's quite funny, isn't it?
First yellow card of the game goes to Kai Havertz. Not the first player in the books of the predictors. Now that's Joshua Kimmich instead. That picture's confusing us just a little bit. It is Joshua Kimmich who gets the yellow card for his troubles. First of the game as it stands, Joshua Kimmich, 26 years of age, making his 56th cap in total for Germany tonight. Has scored 3 goals, played in various positions. from full-back to midfield. Originally seen as a replacement for the legendary Philipp Lahm. Germany looking to break forward. Yes, the ball would strike the thigh of the referee. Something the Germans will certainly not be happy about, but kick on they do as Hummels finds centre-back partner Antonio Rudiger, who switches play now into Gosens, who finds Thomas Müller. Here's Müller coming forward. Couldn't go past Benjamin Pavard. Thomas Müller in his 11th year as a key player for Germany. Early days, of course, at that 2010 World Cup in South Africa, where he finished as top scorer. Hummels. Antonio Rudiger, for all his good work, wouldn't pick out the rampaging Gosens down the left-hand side, the full-back bombing forward. Quite an uncanny resemblance to Lukas Podolski.
Yeah, I thought so too. When I first saw him, I thought it was Lukas, but then again, I was like, there's no Lukas here, so I shouldn't be expecting Lukas Podolski in this game.
Certainly not Lukas Podolski. But surely it's Hernandez on the ball for France. Tackled again by Joshua Kimmich, who has to be careful. He's gone into the referee's boot quite early on, the first yellow of the game, and went to ground to stop the his teammate at club level, Lucas Hernandez, as Hummels will head back to Manuel Neuer. Neuer releases Gosens back to Antonio Rudiger. KG affair so far, perhaps understandably so. Two giants of the game coming up against each other. Wouldn't be free for all for either team, of course, as Rudiger is exchanging passes with Ilkay Gundogan. Now Gosens looking to pick out Thomas Müller, not connecting. Golo Conte up against his teammate at Stamford Bridge, Rudiger. Rudiger wins it on that occasion, takes it back to Müller, who would pick out Mats Hummels and Thomas Müller back into the side for Germany after, of course, being retired by Joachim Löw. Had to call upon the veterans ahead of the Euros, and we certainly can't wait to see how they fare, can't we?
Yeah, it's not just because he just wanted to recall them. They performed at their various clubs this time around, and they deserved a call-up. Thomas Müller was really, really good for Bayern Munich, as well as Hummels, who also played a huge part to Bayern lifting the Bundesliga for a 9th consecutive time. So it is really important that he gets his players really fit and in form at this time, and also to present their country, to present their countries at the EURO2020, and that's why we get to see, of course, Thomas Müller and Hummels here today with Germany.
Here is Pogba in midfield. Runs into trouble at the feet of Thomas Müller, but would be saved by the referee's whistle. It's part of his game, a little bit problematic at times. Wasn't sure it was the best decision to try to dribble at that part of the pitch, but referee Carlos de Cerro Grande from Spain would ease the troubles of the Manchester United midfielder. Kimpembe into Conte. Conte to Griezmann. Griezmann takes the ball down to the left-hand side. It is Lucas Hernandez. It is Kylian Mbappe into Port. Mbappe shaping to cross into the box would go short to Griezmann, whose ball, final pass would find Hernandez, as Germany look to spring forward, but Kai Havertz wouldn't get to the ball as Rafael Varane recovers swiftly and sends it into the part of Hugo Lloris, the captain for France.
Looking at the front three for Germany in Thomas Müller, Serge Gnabry and Kai Havertz, we've seen how they can rotate in just the early parts of the game. We've seen Müller get to the middle, we've seen Kai Havertz go to the striking position. So I think that's what we're going to be expecting in the entirety of the game. So the defenders from France can predict exactly who is up front for Germany.
Midfield is Adrien Rabiot, switching play to the left to Lucas Hernandez. Hernandez, no options forward, goes back to Presnel Kimpembe. Here is Pogba. Up against Toni Kroos. France still in possession, albeit in their own half of the pitch. Kimpembe to N'Golo Kanté. Griezmann coming forward. Kylian Mbappe robbed off the ball by Toni Kroos. Then now it's a dangerous situation potentially as Kai Havertz, Serge Gnabry and Müller are in the counter-attack for Germany. France would rally to prevent any danger as Karim Benzema is up against Rudiger. Here is Mbappe. Mbappe to Benzema. Benzema back to Kylian Mbappe. France at the edge of the German area. Mbappe goes down. Referee is having none of it as Kai Havertz guilty of some lazy play again. Robbed off the ball as Benzema would look to pick out Hernandez. Pass is short and Germany come back in possession. All in all, it's not easy to tell where the ball has resided. Both teams have exchanged time on it really at certain phases of the game. Hugging the ball hasn't really settled for either side, has it?
Exactly what I would say. We haven't seen too much on either side. We've seen Germany also looking confident with the ball and are able to pass the ball amongst themselves really well. The fullbacks in Kimmich and Kosi are really high up the pitch, and they almost look like wingers. So yes, they've been pretty much going forward. But for France, they've been okay also as well in the middle, and when they get the ball, they try to run with it and get to the 18-yard box of Germany, but nothing concrete so far. We haven't seen any exciting moments so far in this game.
Not clear-cut chances created, really. Not for France, not for Germany. Pretty shortly we will be bringing you the statistics. As it were, it's 14 minutes into the game, still France nil, Germany nil. Germany with 65% of the ball to France's 35. Could barely tell looking at the game in itself, but stats are what they are, aren't they? Just solitary shots on shot the game from Germany, none on target. No shots as well for France, and consequently none on target as N'Golo Kanté looking to free up Kylian Mbappe. Couldn't picks out Benjamin Pavard with a cross into the area. It's knocked away by Ginter. Matthias Ginter paying attention as N'Golo Kanté, the second attempt, picking out Benjamin Pavard down the right hand side to send a low cross into the box, but down to ground went Ginter, the Borussia Mönchengladbach defender. And France have a corner kick to be taken by Griezmann.
France looking good with that attack from N'Golo Kanté, so we should expect more of that.
Wheeling the ball in by Griezmann, grazed off the top of the bar by Paul Pogba, who hits the turf in anger and disappointment. Came really close there for France, you have to say, Docus.
Really close. That's the closest we've gotten to see from both teams this evening, and a very well placed corner from Griezmann, and immediately got into the 18-yard, got into the park where there were lots of bodies in the middle, and eventually the head of Pogba got to the ball, but this time wasn't good enough.
There's Germany looking for their own chance. Wasn't to be, but still outside the French area with another cross into the box is cleared away by Presnel Kimpembe. Benzema twisting and turning, couldn't evade the attentions of Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan with a wayward pass straight into Paul Pogba. Benzema. Here is Adrien Rabiot surging in forward for France. Rabiot up against true French players. Frees the ball to Griezmann. France attacking down the left-hand side through Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe would strike! And Manuel Neuer would respond adequately, palming the ball away. And it seems as though for the second successive time it's going to be France getting yet another corner kick. Much better from France off the right foot of Kylian Mbappe.
Much better. Ginter couldn't, hold his own against that man, Kylian Mbappe, and he took a really snapshot with his right foot. But this time it was Erenayo who came to the party and punched the ball away for a corner kick.
Griezmann again with the corner kick. This time wouldn't be as precise as the first occasion that picked out the head of Paul Pogba. Headed away. All the way now back to N'Golo Kanté, who was the man defending the possible counter-attack for France. Hugo Lloris sends the ball forward, and Matt Hummels would head the ball in the path of his goalkeeper to calm the nerves and have Germany on the ascendancy once again. 58% of the ball belonging to the Mannschaft, 42% now for Le Bleu. It is Joachim Löw up against Didier Deschamps in a game that is merely a group game, but befitting of a final given the strength of the nations involved.
The group of death, it is Group F. This is going to be the last encounter, the first round last encounter of all groups, and I think it should live up to that billing. It should give us the excitement, the fun. Not just due to the names we're getting to see, France and Germany, but because they are huge footballing countries when it comes to the world at large.
Well, defending champions Portugal are in Group F, a commanding 3-0 victory over Hungary, though they left it late in the second half. Cristiano Ronaldo on the double. Ronaldo just doing what Cristiano does. Here is Gnabry, motioning forward for Germany. Picks out Gosens. Not ticking the Germans in the final third of the pitch, where they need the connections to fitting appropriately. N'Golo Kanté up against Toni Kroos again, reminiscent of the Champions League semi-finals between Chelsea and Real Madrid. They saw the Blues come victorious against the most successful team in that competition, Real Madrid. N'Golo Kanté came out tops against the Madrid midfield, didn't he?
N'Golo Kanté has been a fantastic player to watch whenever he is on the field, and we've seen that repeatedly for Chelsea, back also when he was at Leicester City until Chelsea got him away from Leicester, and he has continued to develop his game for France as well. We've gotten to see how impactful he can be for his team. For France too, he's taking more advanced roles, looking at how he positions himself, even in this game against Germany. So that young man has lots of potential, he shows that every day.
Oh, France with a chance. So it's off the foot, it's an own goal, and France are ahead on the 19th minute of the game. Quite unfortunate for Matt Hummels, who looks downcast and disappointed, but it all stemmed from a fantastic ball from Paul Pogba, and the onrushing Lucas Hernandez is sending a flash cross into the box, and well, it's the defender Matt Hummels who couldn't adjust his body quickly enough, and it's France 1, Germany 0.
Good ball from Benjamin Pavard straight into the middle of the park. And Paul Pogba had the ball in straight into the left-hand side of the attack, and immediately the ball got to that man Hernandez, who took a strike as it was, and this time Hummels was there trying to defend the ball away, but it wasn't good enough, and the ball went straight into his net.
Well, you could arguably say that this goal has come against the run of play, but it was either Matt Hummels or the feet of Kylian Mbappe. The Germany number 5 couldn't adjust his body quickly enough to get out of the way, and as a result it is a delight for Le Bleu and a bit of a despair for Die Mannschaft. But lots of the game still left to play. Germany will be seeking to find a response. Might be crucial, the points from this game, as Portugal have flown out of the box against Hungary, winning 3-0. This is of course the group of death. Here's Hummels. Not the game he would have wanted. Plenty of time still to make amends as Rudiger comes forward, picks out Gosens. Still Gosens motioning forward. Ilkay Gundogan will recover for France. Thought he had Toni Kroos in space, but Kroos was quickly robbed off the ball as Griezmann is dribbling himself into trouble. Yes, indeed, into trouble as the ball is on to Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry. Kimmich in support. Kimmich with a cross into the box, searching for Thomas Müller. And it's a flash shot by Gosens. complete miscue. Now crossing to the box and just grazes the head of Thomas Müller. And it will trickle away harmlessly as a result for a goal kick for Germany.
Yes.
For France, I should say, yeah.
Yeah, Germany are going in, are trying to find their way into the 18-yard box. They haven't been decisive in the 18 in the final third, but this time it was Thomas Müller who gave them a chance up front with a beautiful header, but the header just went way off the bar.
There we see that goal again. Wonderfully picked out. Lucas Hernandez by Paul Pogba. Flashed the ball across the box. You would feel for Matt Hummels. It's always going to be difficult to get his body out of the way, adjust his body quickly enough to avoid directing the ball towards his own goal, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't do that, and it's France the better up for it.
He couldn't at that point in time stop his runs. He was already running into to try to defend that ball, but then again he wasn't. He couldn't position at the very right time to stop that ball from going into the back of the net.
Well, the experiment of playing Serge Gnabry down the middle of the attack for Germany hasn't really borne fruits. Hardly seen the Bayern Munich man except for one occasion where he tried to dribble his way through. Kai Havertz of Chelsea not also having a fantastic game as Ilkay Gundogan brushes up N'Golo Kanté, and Germany have a free kick in a very interesting position. Something that would interest Kimmich as well as Toni Kroos. And that's the right call from the referee. It's trailing leg by N'Golo Kanté, bringing down Ilkay Gundogan.
Yes, it was the right call from the Spaniard referee, who initially decided that it was a free kick, and the free kick has been awarded to Germany. It was a foul from N'Golo Kanté, the French national, and that was on Ike Gundogan, and the referee thought it was a foul, and a free kick is given.
Well, it's Toni Kroos who apparently has pulled rank and looks set to be the one to have a crack at the French goal. Seconded, of course, by Thomas Müller, both eyeing the ball. And certainly going to be placing my bets that it will be Kroos to take. Just at the edge of the French 18-yard area, referee signals, and it's Kroos to take. It couldn't go past the wall as it rebounds onto the part of Matt Hummels. Hummels coming forward. Here is Ginter. Now Toni Kroos taking charge of the ball. It's fouled by Paul Pogba. The referee hasn't given a foul, but Kroos is still down on the turf. I'm sure he will have a word with Pogba about that challenge later, but play continues. Kai Havertz into Gosens. Gosens all the way back to Antonio Rudiger. Searching for options, finds it in Serge Gnabry, who is retreating to midfield to touch the ball. A little bit isolated for Germany up front. It's a beautiful pass into Kai Havertz. N'Golo Kanté's attention was enough to prevent any danger for France, but Germany keep possession.
Germany keeps possession, but I think that was a really first bad touch from Kai Havertz before N'Golo Kanté came to dispossess him of that particular ball. The big problem with Germany tonight against France is the problem in transition. They haven't been able to transition quite well against the French, and that is what has propelled them, sitting on a lash in this game against France.
Now, Paul Pogba might have escaped the referee's attention for the tackle on Toni Kroos earlier on. But yes, he wouldn't get away with this one as he's brought down Thomas Müller. A little bit distant compared to the first attempt by Toni Kroos that couldn't go past the sea of blue shirts and the wall for France. Yet another chance for Germany to find a response after going down in 19 minutes to an own goal forced by Lucas Hernandez on Matt Hummels. Kroos, the Germany number 8, waiting for the referee's permission to carry on with the free kick. Hugo Lloris organising the wall crews to bend that one in. It's skied high and wide. Not the best efforts. He surely would know that he has done better before and could have done better with that opportunity.
This wasn't good enough. It was just too high. It was way high above the wall in front of Toni Kroos, and you could see the German fans laughing and also frustrated, also looking frustrated with that free kick taken by Toni Kroos. We've seen him do better taking free kicks for Real Madrid and also for the German national team. He would have to be precise with his free kicks, especially against France tonight.
His 103rd cap for Germany. Has 17 goals, would be hoping for an 18th in this game. Dismal performance in 2018 in Russia. Surprising losses to 2-1 to North Macedonia in the qualifiers, as well as being dropped 6-0 recently by Spain, typifying how low the mighty have fallen Germany. Of course, every tournament presents new opportunities, and these crop of players will be hoping for some form of redemption. Here is Kai Havertz closing to Thomas Muller, when perhaps the better option was to use Gosens in space on his left-hand side. Hasn't had a wonderful game, Kai Havertz, has he? Came in for a lot of criticism early on at Chelsea, but I guess scoring the goal that gave Chelsea the Champions League trophy means his sins are very much forgiven at Stamford Bridge. But how about for Germany in this game?
He's been ever present in the front line, but we're looking at that action again, and this time it was Kimmich who forced attack. He would head off that man in the left-hand side of Martinez in the defense of France. He pushed on past N'Golo Kante and was later fouled by Presnel Kimpembe, and he thought it was going to be a corner awarded to Germany, but the referee thought otherwise and the goal kick was taken. But talking about Kai Havertz, he is the man that has been ever present when it comes to the front trio for the Germans tonight. But it's like I said before, they haven't been decisive in the final third. The transition in the German team tonight hasn't been precise, and that has cost them to be one goal down against the French. But so far, they would have to pick themselves up. Kai Havertz, Serge Gnabry, and Thomas Muller will have to take matters into their own hands and make sure that they can get an equalizer in this game against the France.
Well, if you're just joining in, this is 92.3 Nigeria Info's commentary coverage of the Group F encounter between France and Germany, happening of course at the football arena in Munich. Just to remind you of the way the teams have set up, it is France in blue kicking the ball from left to right. It is Germany in white kicking the ball from right to left. It is 4-2-3 for France, who are coming forward again through Paul Pogba. Griezmann back to Lucas Hernandez. Pogba to Varane. Varane with a wayward ball. It's Varane to the throwing. It is France, with a 4-4-3. Hernandez, Kimpembe, Varane, Pavard. The four at the back in midfield. Pogba, Kante and Adrien Rabiot. 4-3 are Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann and Karim Benzema. Goalkeeper is Captain Hugo Lloris for Germany. It is a 3-4-3 formation. Manuel Neuer, the goalkeeper. Hummels, Ginter and Rudiger, the three at the back. In midfield you have Gundogan and Toni Kroos. Wing backs Joshua Kimmich and Robin Gosens. Forward you have Serge Gnabry, Thomas Muller and Kai Havertz. France trying to play their way out of the back, ball into the feet of Toni Kroos as he sends a rasping ball, trying to pick out Joshua Kimmich. Picks out the Germany number 6. Coming in field, Kimmich finds Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan searching for options, looking to pick out Kai Havertz. Rabiot paying attention. Here's Griezmann into Rabiot, front in space. Rabiot will pick out Benjamin Pavard. Pavard back to Griezmann. Griezmann takes the ball back to his central defenders, the halfway line, taking off, snuffing out the attacking impetus for his country in the process. And once again ensures that France remain in control of proceedings at the moment. 31 minutes, France 1, Germany 0. Matt Hummels with the own goal as Pogba is turning in midfield. Pogba would pick out Hernandez. Hernandez into Kylian Mbappe, was found some joy on the left-hand side of the French attack. Mbappe again. Down to Benjamin Pavard. Griezmann dinking the ball into Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba staying strong, but not strong enough to ensure the ball gets into Pavard, but France keep possession. And it is now Germany doing all the chasing.
Germany doing the chasing, France doing the passing, and nothing concrete up front. It's been the basic issue for both teams. Going forward, they seem to look a bit depleted, but France have had the better chances going forward, and that was what got them the first goal of the encounter. But so far, we haven't seen much from that man himself in Kylian Mbappe going forward. Karim Benzema too has been around here and there, but hasn't also shown his presence in the final third. They would have to be better. Griezmann has done a couple of misplaced runs into the box, and which has stopped the counter-attacking from the angle of France, and I think that's what they would have to work on to better their game against Germany.
No, Germany haven't managed to think at all in the final third, looking a bit disjointed as soon as they approach the rear guard of the French team, and maybe they can do better this time. They're in possession through Matt Hummels, who is urging them forward. Hummels. Rudiger motioning for his players to create spaces up front. Gossen's made the run, but didn't quite spot him as he goes back to Hummels, to find Toni Kroos dictating from deep. Here's Kimmich. Paying attention to him is Kylian Mbappe. 2v1 for Germany, back to Toni Kroos. Balling to the right hand side, left hand side of the pitch, picking out Robin Gosens. Robin Gosens looking for a give and go with Kai Havertz, who looks a little bit lost. Here's Kroos looking to tread the ball through to Serge Gnabry. And Rafael Varane is taking the risk of dribbling out of his area. Once again, it's the referee's whistle that comes to the rescue of the Real Madrid central defender. Steady fixture in the French side now, as it's been for many years. Rafael Varane made his professional debut at the age of 17 for Lens in the Ligue 1 game versus Montpellier. Has over 300 appearances for Real Madrid, 18 major trophies. Debut for France at the age of 19. Exposed to the biggest stages quite early on, and one of Jose Mourinho's gifts to world football. Young veteran, as I like to call him, part of the French team that won the World Cup 3 years ago in Russia. Speaking of France, here they come. It's Kylian Mbappe evading his marker. It's quite dangerous for Germany, and it's Ginter who would go to ground to prevent the cross off the left boot of Kylian Mbappe.
That is trademark Kylian Mbappe, and that's what I've been looking forward to tonight. The pace, the agility, the stamina in this man is what has lacked so far tonight. And we just saw that a couple of minutes ago. He took the ball, raced through, got past of course, defender Ginter, who couldn't hold on to Kylian Mbappe. And if not for the fact that Hummels was there to cross the ball to be a corner kick in favor of France, it would have also been something. It would have been a goal for France, and that is what I want to see more. I want to see more of that from that man himself, Kylian Mbappe.
Corner taken by Griezmann, headed away by Matt Hummels. I have to say that Germany are starting to suffer a little bit more in the game. Barely having a sniff at the moment. Ball goes to Manuel Neuer, who looks in a hurry, just in a very interesting style, sending the ball to Joshua Kimmich. But whatever urgency he was trying to add to the German game wasn't really being told by his teammates, as the ball is still in the German half of the area and backing itself to Thomas Müller, not able to find chances going forward. And, well, Germany's problems appear not to be over. Here is Ginta into number 8 to Tony Cruz. Tony Cruz finds Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan to Joshua Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich drifting inwards to the midfield, finds Serge Gnabry. Here is Cruz. Here's Gosens. Gosens on the left hand side. Gosens looking for the cross. Gosens with a cross inwards, and a chance for Germany. And it's a snap of a shot by number 22, Ilkay Gundogan, but not able to replicate his Manchester City form. I saw him net quite a lot of times in the just concluded City season for the citizens.
Good play from Germany, but this time the ball came off that man, Serge Gnabry, fell on the foot of Ilkay Gundogan, the Manchester City man, who couldn't do much with the ball. He had a really good snapshot, but it was just inches away from the goalpost.
Wasn't precise enough to take advantage of a rare opportunity as far as the game has panned out so far for Germany. France would keep the scoreline in their favour. Gosens, Antonio Rudiger, down to Ilkay Gundogan, who would find Matt Hummels. Hummels, it's walking pace football at the moment. No options. The entire midfield is bereft of a white shirt. And that's the reason why they've gone back to a goalkeeper Neuer, who now picks out Tony Cruz. It's Serge Gnabry couldn't dribble past his club teammate Benjamin Pavard. Here is Muller, recovered by Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot now in midfield, back to Griezmann. France will lose possession to Germany. Joshua Kimmich. Now here comes Tony Cruz. Gundogan. Cruz to Kimmich. Oh, Kimmich looked to have been fouled, but it is Lucas Hernandez down on the turf, holding his face and screaming. Just suggesting that an elbow has gone into his face, but this is where it gets quite tricky, because these are teammates at Bayern Munich, but that's a kick in the face. Yeah. Of the boot of Joshua. Quite understandable his remonstrations now, because that must have hurt Lucas Hernandez. That must have hurt.
I first thought that he was doing a peekaboo, that nothing exactly happened, but looking at that incident again, Kimmich's foot, a really high right foot, hit the face of Hernandez, who of course should be screaming in pain, as he obviously is distraught with that particular one, and the referee would have to hold play to make sure that Hernandez can continue in the game.
Yeah, inadvertent. They didn't really mean to do it, but Bruce Lee would be envious. What a kick straight into the face. Worthy of a black belt.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know what I'm talking about, believe me.
Black belt karate, yeah, could agree.
Okay. It's Manuel Neuer picking up the pieces for Germany. Tony Cruz, but Golo Kante patrolling, recovers for France. Here's Rabiot, picks out Hernandez, who seems okay now, to continue the beating for France as they look to be heading into half-time with a 1-0 scoreline, which could of course mean advantage. France's Paul Bar is at it again, picking out Benzema. Benzema with a chance to guided it across the 18-yard area with a looping cross, but couldn't pick out a shirt in blue. Could have flashed that straight across to try to catch Manuel Neuer unawares, but for all his experience, I have to say that was a questionable pick of a choice by Karim Benzema.
A screaming shot would have done better in that game for Benzema. He should have taken a snapshot, but he decided to do a dummy against the defender, the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. But it wasn't good enough, and it was Kai Havertz who was there at that point in time to ensure that that ball doesn't go into the back of the net against Germany.
Right, it's Havertz, Cruz. Germany fending some time on the ball. Gosens, who hasn't really been effective up against Benjamin Pavard. Here is Gnabry dribbling through. Cruz looking to invent a pass for Ginta, but now France can speed away, and that's the speedster Kylian Mbappe taking the ball to Karim Benzema. Benzema back to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe takes the foot off the pedal. It's walking pace football now by France, looking to manage the game up until half-time, which is just about 3 minutes away if we're looking at the regular 45. It's a battle between the world today, between Paul Pogba and Toni Kroos. Pogba, of course, the bigger player physically, but Kroos putting in the shifts. But interestingly, there's a bit of sportsmanship between the two, as after all said and done, they managed to shake hands.
Yeah, that shows that they do respect each other, and of course, it's the game of football. We love it, but we have to be we have to be amicable when we have to be, and that's what we've seen from Toni Kroos and Paul Pogba in that incident as well. But we're going to be seeing a couple more from these two. We're going to be seeing more of that from Toni Kroos and also from Paul Pogba as well. But have you noticed that there's a certain amount of excitement and anticipation whenever that man in Kylian Mbappe has the ball?
Yeah, certainly. He is the golden boy of modern day football. Kylian Mbappe. Lots of interesting stories coming out of the France camp. Rancor between himself and Olivier Giroud, whose place is on the bench today. It's France leading, but not particularly as a result of the efforts of their attacking players, really. An own goal with Matumult. Maybe Giroud could be summoned later on in the game. We will see. Pavard with a throw. Picks out Conte. Pogba is offside, and the linesman's flag goes up, and Pogba is complaining that might have been a little bit short-sighted on that one.
I wonder why players do this. Players rush on to referees to tell them that no, I wasn't offside, but the call is already made. I don't see any referee who is going to rescind his decision for that. And Paul Pogba, before before the ball came in, he was offside, and when the ball got to him, he was no longer offside. And the referee decided that it was offside. So I don't see any reason why you have to rush to him and try to explain that you weren't offside. Yeah,
and he's guilty as charged, in my opinion, because replay suggests Pogba was indeed offside. As Germany can restart play. Cruising to Ilkay Gundogan. 30 seconds away from the first 45. In addition to whatever the referee decides to extend. Rudiger. Long ball forward looking for Joshua Kimmich. For his best efforts, the Germany number 6 wouldn't pluck the ball out of the air, but Germany looked bereft of ideas going forward.
Oh, God.
That's just an incident between Pogba and Antonio Rudiger.
He beat him a little. Rudiger beat Paul Pogba at the back a little. And I'm thinking that, of course, UEFA will have to take action against that. I don't care what the situation is, but you don't do that.
That's a friendly nibble, if you ask me.
Oh, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Well, never know. It's maybe we would have found that Pogba isn't quite edible. It's a minute of added time. 30 seconds of which has already been played. As Germany, with the ball, are looking to have the last say of the first half. Toni Kroos finds Matthias Ginter. Ginter up against Karim Benzema. Benzema looks to have left something on the Borussia Mönchengladbach defender, but play would continue. The advantage played for Germany. Oh, what a flick by Serge Gnabry. Won't count for anything, and it's half-time at the football arena in Munich. It's been an epic encounter. Both sides matching each other pretty well in phases of the game, but it is France who will go into half-time. The team better off, courtesy of an own goal by Mats Hummels of Germany. Half-time analysis and other things surely worth talking about will be coming your way in just a moment. Don't forget, it's 92.3 Nigeria Info's commentary coverage of the Group F encounter, France versus Germany. that it would be no holds barred, that it will be fireworks from the start to the finish, but course, second half of formalities being gone through with at the moment. As sides have, of course, been changed. It is now France kicking the ball from right to left. And Germany will now kick the ball from left to right. Of course, France still clad in their all blue, just to paint the perfect picture for you. Germany are in all white. And no change in personnel to report to you at the moment as France gets us on the way. Karim Benzema doing the honours. It's Paul Pogba having some time to show what gifts he possesses. Going up against three German players and coming out with the ball. Here is Presnel Kimpembe. Kimpembe into Rafael Varane. Sends the ball now into Benjamin Pavard, surging forward. Pavard to Antoine Griezmann, spreads it to Kimpembe. France are up to a brilliant start to the second. Kimpembe on the ball. Finds the man who forced the own goal on Matt Hummels, Lucas Hernandez. Hugo Lloris will launch it forward. Here's Kai Havertz. Into Thomas Muller looking to free up Serge Gnabry, whose run was spotted. Couldn't quite get through as France are back in possession. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe, lightning speed up against Matt Hummels. Hummels could be in trouble. Here's Mbappe cutting through. Still Mbappe with the ball on the left-hand side. Twisting and turning. Leaves it now for Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot into Pogba. Pogba finds Kylian Mbappe with a casual ball straight into the feet of the German player. Manuel Neuer will hoof it away, but Muller couldn't quite recover as France backing possession, and it started quite brightly in the second half.
Yes, so they have started really brightly in the second half, but Germany failed to muster any attempt to earn targets in their first 45 minutes. The question they will be asking themselves right now is, can they get back in the game in the second half by getting an early equalizer against France to keep their hopes alive, especially in this game.
Gosens, Antonio Rudiger, Ilkay Gundogan into Toni Kroos. Ilkay back to Rudiger. Rudiger would find Gosens. Gosens looking to free up the pace of Serge Gnabry down the middle, but as was with the first half, not connecting. Kai Havertz seemed to be getting a little bit more involved in the midfield side of things now. Hugo Lloris on troubles, gratefully gathers the ball. France don't particularly need to be in a hurry. The scoreline favours their course, as it were. 3 points against Germany would certainly be something to be delighted about. It's a tough group. Defending champions Portugal awaits the two teams playing this evening. Here is Benzema. Haven't seen much of him yet. His brilliance not in doubt, but the whole world will be looking to see how the Real Madrid striker fits in. He's back into the French national team since a 5-year hiatus starting in 2015 for off-field incidents. Talking point will always be his selection ahead of Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud is not doing badly at all. 46 goals in 103 appearances for France. Second only to Thierry Henry, who has 51 goals. He did his in 103 appearances for Le Bleu, ahead of the likes of Jean-Pierre Papin, ahead of Michel Platini, ahead of David Trezeguet, and even the great Zinedine Zidane, but on the bench today. Adrien Rabiot with the ball, supported by Karim Benzema. Rabiot would overhit the ball, and Karim Benzema will certainly be disappointed with that. It was just on the eye, easier to just free him up as he was racing down the left-hand side in something that could have hurt Germany. But Adrien Rabiot couldn't quite manage that situation well.
Yeah, he pushed the ball just too much and couldn't find, of course, the man who was running just beside him in Karim Benzema. That would have been a good opening for the French national team, looking at where the way Karim Benzema was running, and there it would have been a really good option going forward for the French.
Adrien Rabiot, a little bit surprised by Deschamps' decision to start him in this game, which is a game of huge magnitude, such trust. Many don't know, but Adrien Rabiot spent a part of 2008 at Manchester City's academy, the youth setup. Since played for Paris Saint-Germain, certainly now of Juve, 47 appearances and 5 goals for Juve in the just concluded season. Not a bad return for a midfield player, I have to say. His 16th cap today for France. No goals yet, as Joachim Löw looks on, wondering what he must do to get France on the way. There's the man to succeed him, Hansi Flick, on the stand. Seated in a stadium he called his own in the past season with Bayern Munich. Quite interesting, but that's the succession for Germany, as it were. It was, it's France with a chance. Adrien Rabiot! We just said that he hadn't scored a goal for France yet, and that was a glorious opportunity for him to open his account for Le Bleu, but he spawned it, as it were. But I have a feeling had that gone in, probably would be flagged for offside.
A really good ball coming in from Kylian Mbappe to Rabiot, who initially had to take a shot. It looked like he was offside, like you said, Kosi. Probably if that had gone in, VAR would have cross-checked that goal and decided that it was offside. But it was a really good run from the young French, who initially had a shot off target. But I think it's a good improvement for the young man.
Well, the philosophy is always to score and ask questions later. But Adrien Rabiot was unable to get the ball beyond Manuel Neuer. Couldn't even get it on target, really. We'll never know if indeed he would have been flagged for offside. But play resumes, and now Germany are in control down the left-hand side through Gosens. Rudiger, lots of possession, very little spark for Germany. Not creating a lot. Ginter. Sideway passes backwards. That's really what Germany have been about. Now Rudiger can give them some impetus coming forward. Sends the ball into Gosens. Always reluctant to cross with his left, and trying with his right is just send the ball straight to Adrien Rabiot, as Kante would retain possession quite well for France, looking to get the ball to Benzema, but Benzema couldn't control. Now a swarm of white shirts camped outside the area of France. The Germans asking questions. Gosens sent in across into the box. It's Gnabry! Just over the bar by inches. And the Germany number 10, with his clear-cut, first clear-cut chance of the game, manages to waste it, as it were. Caught the ball sweetly. That's trying to guide it to the goalkeeper's right. It was a woeful execution.
A really, really woeful execution from that man, Serge Gnabry. You're looking at the cross that came in from the left-hand side. A really, really good true pass coming in for Serge Gnabry. He was supposed to take that ball. He took it with his right foot, but it was just inches off the bar again. Just high, just a little bit off the top of the goal post. And once again, it is still France leading Germany here in Munich, 1-0 after 55 minutes of game time played.
Well, I might have been a little bit too critical of the efforts, trying to take the ball with the side foot on a half volley. We have seen him do a lot better than that. Perhaps we were judging him by his own high standards previously set, Serge Gnabry. Joachim Löw would be ruining that wasted opportunity as in comes the free kick into the French box. Hugo Lloris rises highest, aided by his hands, of course, which is permitted to use as the goalkeeper. He gathers the ball and sends Benjamin Pavard on his way. Pavard to Pogba. Pogba playing Pavard into trouble. Spobber again, the second time running. Maybe Bayern Munich fall back into trouble. Now Kai Havertz is in space. Goes to Joshua Kimmich. Runs into a French cul-de-sac as now the pace of Kylian Mbappe can be unleashed down the left-hand side. He's being now marked by Ginter and Matt Hummels, who managed to block the ball as it came in, looking for the supporting French shirts. Germany survive and can have an attack of their own. İlkay Gündoğan. Now to Thomas Müller, who's gone to the right-hand side of the Germany attack. Here's Kimmich. Oh, that's a good chance for Müller. Müller would strike, but Rafael Varane would block it, and Lucas Hernandez would come away with it. Much better from Germany. Kimmich. Beautifully invented ball into the path of Serge Gnabry. Hugo Lloris with a big anticipation, racing out to make sure that the Bayern Munich forward couldn't make the most out of it, but much better. The creativity lacking, provided in ample fashion by Joshua Kimmich.
First off, before I say that, we have to look at this incident again. It was once again Serge Gnabry who was going there for that ball, but it was Hugo Lloris who came out to spread his body against that man Serge Gnabry to not have even a touch on the ball. And I think it was a good decision from the French goalie. He did really, really well. It has been a bunch of attack from the Germans, and I think they are beginning to, they're starting to find their confidence. They're starting to now be determined in the game, and it's now getting feisty. It's now getting lively, and that's what we're beginning to see. The Germans are now ready for battle against the French.
Well, typifying the thoughts and words of Dr. Koki is the fact that Germany are still in possession. Here is Matt Hummels. Toni Kroos will take charge of the ball. Freeing up for a midfield partner İlkay Gündoğan, and spreads it to Antonio Rudiger. Gündoğan. Oh. It is still İlkay Gündoğan. Now Gosens, much better from him, trying to find Thomas Müller, who was in turn looking for Kai Havertz, but wasn't to be. Germany retaining possession. Matt Hummels. Suddenly they look as though they're in a little bit of a hurry, the mine shaft. Here is Kai Havertz on his left foot, finds Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich with a cross into the box. Arriving is Gosens. And follow up. Oh, J.O.J. seems to have been blocked by his teammates still on the floor. And the referee might have something interesting to say here. It's not something Germany would really be interested in, because it looks to be about Rafael Varane, who's come off worse from that incident, spawning from a wonderful cross from Joshua Kimmich.
Wonderful cross from Joshua Kimmich, just went straight on to the middle of the back, where Benjamin Pavard was and already was taking control of that ball until Gosens came in collision with him, and he fell, and he needs attention. The referee had to hold the game for Benjamin Pavard to be attended to, and he's to be attended. I think he fell quite badly, and he is in severe pains.
Yes, and the arriving Gosens, we could see from the replays, left a huge impact on the right full back for France, and he's down on the turf for his troubles, Benjamin Pavard. Well, began his career at Lille before moving to VfB Stuttgart in Germany. Pavard was to be later snapped up by Bayern Munich in January of 2019. Scored the goal of the tournament, the 2018 World Cup, in that 4-3 victory over Argentina in the round of 16 to break the hearts of Lionel Messi and co. 25 years of age, 35th cap, 2 goals so far. thankfully he's up on his feet, and we will see if he will be able to continue the course for France in this fixture. Well, he was barely 3 years of age when Didier Deschamps, as a player, won the World Cup for France in 1998. He is now himself a World Cup winner, being part of that squad to win in Russia 3 years ago. Made his debut for France in the 2-0 win against Wales at the Stade de France in the 10th of November 2017. Benjamin Pavard. Oh well, that was a good chance, so Germany thought. But it's gone away, and it's never coming back. To get another, you'd have to work hard to create another. And it's a matter of being clinical with what you create, something the Germans haven't managed a lot of.
They are now creating. They are now showing that determination. They are now trying to match the midfield power of the French national team. And now we're getting to see the quality of all players in the German team. That is what we expected in the first half, and now we are getting in the second half.
Germany will continue play. Cruz bringing it forward. Ahead of him is Ilkay Gundogan. Benjamin Pavard making his way back to the pitch after a timeout with injury, as Kai Havertz is looking to break through the lanky forward. Manages to muscle Lucas Hernandez and win a corner kick for Germany. And making his way back into the 18-yard area, one of the taller players. So, of course, Joshua Kimmich will be searching for, as he has this outswinger of a corner kick coming. Germany with the corner headed away at the first obstacle. Onto a true steal for their Mannschaft. Rudiger into Serge Gnabry. Here is Toni Kroos. Sideways to Matthias Ginter. Ginter with what looks like an attempt at a cross, poorly executed. France, pretty much the way they played in 2018, looking for the counter. Looking to unleash the pace of Kylian Mbappe down the left-hand side. Ginter wouldn't let that happen, at least on this occasion. Lucas Hernandez will take the throw for Le Bleu.
And Kosi, we are starting to see a little bit of tactical tweak from the Germans ever since the Rabiot's big chance came in for France, which would have put them up 2-0 to Germany. But now we're getting to see Kimmich, who is now playing in the central midfield, and Ginter is now going to also help the defenders in the right-hand side. So yeah, that's a little bit of tweak, and I think right now they need to start taking more risks to get an equalizer in this game.
Well, that tweak nearly paid off for Joachim Löw with that wonderfully threaded through ball by Kimmich. Searching for Gnabry. Oh, it's another crossing. It's Raphael Varane on hand to prevent it from reaching its intended target. Joshua Kimmich with the cross, and now he can have a second bite of the cherry with the corner kick. Kimmich to take into the French box, evades everyone and knocked away by Lucas Hernandez. Manuel Neuer racing forward to keep things speaking for Germany. Gosens down the left. Gosens to cross the ball in, shaping to cross, but changes his mind. Goes back to Rudiger. Rudiger forward, searching for options, finds it in Serge Gnabry. Here is Toni Kroos. Kroos to Kai Havertz. Adrien Rabiot on hand to defend, but danger not averted for France. It's ball into the box, but will trickle kindly onto the path of Hugo Lloris, who gathers quite confidently. Is Gosens being a little bit more adventurous in the second half, a little bit too reluctant at times to send in the whipped crosses off his left foot, something I'm sure Gnabry and Muller wouldn't be happy about.
Germany are now looking quite dangerous up front, but still not decisive in the final third. They would have to change that. We talked about that in the first half, and now they're repeating that. They look dangerous, but we haven't seen too much from the dangerous, how dangerous they look in the final third, and that has to change if they need to score a goal against the French national team.
It's the Sheriff N'Golo Kanté patrolling. Kanté with the ball. Quiet but effective performance from the Frenchman, N'Golo Kanté. Born in Paris to Malian parents who migrated to France in 1980. Here's the ball to Pogba, who would find Griezmann. Griezmann carrying Benzema. Benzema shaping to shoot. Benzema will strike. Down goes Ginter to block it. Gosens. Rudiger. Neuer. Neuer to Matt Hummels. Ginter back to his goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. Neuer with a shaky clearance forward and loses it to France. Lucas Hernandez himself would lose the ball. Germany finally clear, hoofing the ball forward, searching for Kai Havertz, won by Presnel Kimpembe. Now Pogba attacking the German goal, finds Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe up against Joshua Kimmich, Tizen and Tursing, still Kylian Mbappe! Oh, fabulous goal it is! Kylian Mbappe, and cue the second goal for France. But past the celebrations as the linesman has raised his flag. And I think he is indeed correct. Great vision from Paul Pogba. That, well, either could have released the ball a little earlier, or Kylian Mbappe could have bent his run a little bit. But that's a great goal which would never count in the history of football.
A great decision from that man, Paul Pogba, but at the wrong time. He found an offside Kylian Mbappe, who made his runs and made the defenders of Germany look quite as children, and eventually did too much with the ball, which I was about to scream, but you were talking, so I refused to say something about that. But he did too much with the ball, eventually slotted the ball into the net, and the referee, the linesman, decided it was offside, and I totally agree with that decision.
Well, it's quite rightfully. The whistle went off for offside as Karim Benzema is the tip of the French attack, making runs for Paul Pogba, who couldn't quite sight him. It is getting more and more interesting. Rabiot, Hernandez. Here is Presnel Kimpembe. Presnel Kimpembe just had a solitary cap for Congo. An interesting fact. Played at under 20 level for DR Congo, having been born to a Congolese father and Haitian mother. Swapped his way up the scratch from the age grade levels at Paris Saint-Germain, and now is a regular for the side. Hugo Lloris. Rudiger would win it against Paul Pogba. Rudiger coming forward. It is Presnel Kimpembe versus Thomas Müller, and the winner is Kimpembe, but the Germans skip the ball. That's Ilkay Gundogan down the right-hand side to pick out Joshua Kimmich, being marshalled by Hernandez and Kylian Mbappe putting in the shift, so he retreats. Germany being pushed deeper and deeper into their own half by France, but Rudiger can open up space. Gosens to Rudiger down the left-hand side. Here is Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz. Serge Gnabry. Gnabry now to Joshua Kimmich, looking to cross the ball into the box. It's indeed a cross, but Kimpembe would knock it out, just as we see activity in the German bench.
Yeah, activity. It looks like Leroy Sané will be coming in any time soon, and he was talking to someone just being, and I was thinking if he was Hansi Flick.
Corner for Germany. Rudiger rose highest, wasn't to be. France in a hurry to unleash Kylian Mbappe. Germany doing a good job of keeping the Paris Saint-Germain forwards at bay. Germany still in possession. able to create much of substance. Kai Havertz rolls the ball across to Ilkay Gundogan, back to Toni Kroos. Here is Kai Havertz trying to sort his foot out. In the end, does it. Was looking to cross, but Hernandez would block it, as we indeed see two substitutions being readied by Joachim Löw. See activity, Leroy Sané and Chelsea's Timo Werner getting ready to join the foray as the corner comes in, headed away by Antoine Griezmann. Gundogan. Still Gundogan patrolling the central midfield area. Sideway backward touches from the German team, not much going forward. Ginter into Matt Hummels. Playing the high line, Germany might be wary of the pace in the French attack, but France recover. Kimpembe sends it forward, searching for Kylian Mbappe. Quickly off his feet as France are in possession. Through Antoine Griezmann, dribbling his way through, back into his own half of the midfield. Sends the ball now to Benjamin Pavard, who is surging forward, picks out Paul Pogba. Pogba goes back into Griezmann, who is being allowed a sort of free roll today, patrolling across the midfield area, in between Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema. Referee has halted play, and it's Matthias Ginter who looks to have hurt himself in the process. Presumably against Kylian Mbappe, as he leapt high enough for that header. But maybe now Germany can have a chance to infuse some fresh legs into the game.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Joachim Löw is trying to make a couple of changes, just as Ginter has been attended to by the medic crew, and we're getting to see that. But no changes thus far. So far, it's just about Ginter having to they are trying to resuscitate that man to make sure that he looks fit and okay to continue this game. And Joachim Löw is still trying to make those changes. We are seeing Emre Can also trying to come in, warming up as well. We have seen Timo Werner as well as Leroy Sané in the touch lines, but no changes there.
So the original intention was for attacking players to come on for Germany in the shape and form of Leroy Sané and of course Kai Havertz, but Joachim Löw will be forced into a third substitution as Matthias Ginter looks hurt and will be unable to continue, as indeed Borussia Dortmund's Emre Can is joining the three of the byline, looking to come on. It is 19 Leroy Sané, 23 Emre Can, and number 11 Kai Havertz. As soon as it happens, we will be confirming for you. So in a stranger twist, looks like Ginter might just be able to continue, as Emre Can is being asked to return to his place on the bench by Joachim Löw. Number 10 is out, Serge Gnabry. In comes number 11, Timo Werner. Up next to join will be number 19, Leroy Sané, unmistakable in his afro hair. Indeed, it's the Champions League winner with Chelsea, Kai Havertz, former Bayer Leverkusen man, giving way for the former Manchester City forward, now of Bayern Munich, Leroy Sané, for his 31st appearance for Germany. And Ginter looks fit to continue, and Emre Can services as of yet will not be required.
Yeah, looks that way. Ginter looks okay and fit, and he wants to continue, so they let him, and he's going to be helping the German national team with his defending, astute defending for the German side. And that man, Emre Can, has gone back to at least sit for a while and see if he's going to even come in the game.
Yes, but what we to expect with the infusion of Leroy Sané and Kai Havertz for Germany?
It's similar to what I said before. Leroy Sané is a guy that has the energy and the pace to run from the right and also aid the middle when it comes to the attacking. Like now, Timo Werner is in, so he's going to be producing from the right hand side for Timo Werner, who is now going to be at the middle, while Muller will continue from where he plays. Or they can also interchange, like we saw in the first half between Gnabry and Kai Havertz with Muller as well, interchanging. So yes, a couple of changes too, but it's just the odds to what we've currently seen in the second half from the Germans. It is still going to be the same. Leroy Sané assisting from the right and Timo Werner trying to be creative up front and go and try to see if they can get a goal in this game.
Well, whatever the substitutes have to do, they have just about 15 minutes to do it. We're up to 75 for the clock. It is still France 1, Germany 0. And on goal in the first half of the boots of Matt Hummels. It's what the French have to thank for their lead at the moment. Joshua Kimmich into the recovered Matthias Ginter. Ginter finds Matt Hummels. Hummels swifts the ball across to Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger looking to get Ilkay Gundogan on his way, but Antoine Griezmann wasn't having any of it as Germany are still in possession. So much so that Matt Hummels is into the French half of the pitch, sweeping ball down to find Kimmich up against Bayern teammate Lucas Hernandez. So sells him the dummy, in comes the cross into the box. It's guarded quite easily by Hugo Lloris, the Tottenham goalkeeper, the second most capped player in the history of the German national team.
It's all about Germany. It's been all about Germany in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the game in the second half. 57% of possession to that of France's 43%, and that's how it has been with Germany in the most of the time in the half mark of France, and still trying to pressure the France national team. But they look quite resolute when it comes to defense. The French, they look quite good and dominant when it comes to their defense. They've kept it pretty clean, and that's why the scoreline still remains 1-0 in favor of the French. Well,
I have to say, going back 2 years ago to Russia, the French didn't exactly play the most interesting football, but they were quite effective in the way they went about their business, and that's exactly what they've shown here tonight. Not being bossing it, not being creating quite a lot and doing the spectacular things, but they are leading. And if Germany don't find a response, they are taking all 3 points. Kylian Mbappe running forward, looks to evade Ginter. Kylian Mbappe with yet another chance. So last-ditch effort by Matt Hummels. And the referee looks pretty sure that the Borussia Dortmund defender got the ball and not the leg of the PSG man. Kylian Mbappe, what a burst of pace. And, well... You love Formula One, but I have to say that was Hamilton-esque, Mercedes-esque, the pace shown by Kylian Mbappe to dust Matt Hummels on that occasion.
That was the pace we were asking for. That is exactly what we got from Kylian Mbappe. But it was Ginter who was there to ensure that he doesn't get into the back of the net, that ball from Kylian Mbappe. And the referee decided that it also wasn't a penalty. And I think it is so that shouldn't have stood as a penalty. And defensively, Ginter has done well for the Germans today. He's been pretty solid for them.
Yeah, pretty solid. You can't really argue against that, especially on the back of that fantastic piece of defending to deny the French number 10, Kylian Mbappe. He was looked to be clean true. Here is another pacey forward chasing. It's Timo Werner, but Rafael Varane will beat him to it. Part of the Chelsea team that got the better of Real Madrid, of course. Not the first time he is coming up against Rafael Varane, as Joshua Kimmich can bring it forward. Timo Werner up against N'Golo Kanté. Kanté wins it. Benzema will turn all the way back in his midfield to free up Pogba. Oh, brilliant ball from Pogba. It's Kylian Mbappe. It's 1 against 2. Supporting is carrying Benzema. It's a given goal between him and Kylian Mbappe. Griezmann is asking for the ball down the right hand side. Kylian Mbappe with a twist and turn across into the box. It's repelled by Matt Hummels. Pogba will pick up the pieces. Pogba with a chance to show his footwork. Guides it past Toni Kroos. Guilty of overplaying and loses the ball to the Germany number 8. Here is Müller into Kai Havertz. Oh, there's a miscommunication between Timo Werner and Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos thought another player was arriving just as Werner dropped the ball, and there we see that tackle again. Oh, through the legs of Kylian Mbappe. Matt Hummels just nipping it at the time that Mbappe was having his eyes very much lit up to pull the trigger against Manuel Neuer.
Wasn't that too much of leg work from Hummels on Kylian Mbappe? Yeah, he got the ball the first time, but his legs were still lingering there. That should have also maybe been a penalty, but then it wasn't. The referee said that I wasn't. So
I very much doubt it. I think he won enough of the ball. Sané. First real contribution. Gundogan. Toni Kroos. Spacing it, searching for Gosens. Pogba. Staying strong, still Griezmann. Pogba. Long ball now, searching for nobody in particular. Long ball to the throw-in. Corentin Tolisso will get a touch as a substitute, no less. Here is Toni Kroos. Seeing a lot of the ball, but as has been for the last couple of years, playing too deep to really dictate things in the final third. Joshua Kimmich loses against Hernandez, but the referee has faulted the Frenchman and has indeed awarded a free kick to Germany. Kimmich takes it quickly to Leroy Sané, who finds Robin Gosens. Ball goes out for a throw and France will take it. Gosens ever present down the left hand side, but a little bit disappointing has been with his final product. Guilty of a heavy touch to give Antoine Griezmann the chance to get the better of the ball and in the end to win the free kick for France.
Yeah, his tackle haven't been clean, his interception, they haven't been clean. Then talking about his decision in the final third, the crosses into the final third in the middle of the park hasn't been clean as well, and that's where I would fault him, but he has helped the team also pushing attack and moving forward. Come down sometimes to also defend. He's been pretty solid for doing that, but his final decisions haven't really helped the German team today.
Well, time is never the friend of the losing side in football, and time is certainly not Germany's friend, as we're up to 82 minutes, leaving us with 8 to go to the 90. They are chasing a 1-goal deficit. Will they be able to find it? We're here to keep describing for you right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Your commentary team tonight for Onah, Kosi and Dokas Koki. Call us the double K if you like. Here is Rudiger into Toni Kroos. Checking Conte. Kroos again. Seems to be a lack of options for the midfielder. It is a Hummels who would guide the ball forward. Joshua Kimmich with Ginter in support. Finds Ginter. Ginter with space to cross. Ginter will flash across into the box, but it's met with a now stretched Pogba foot to prevent damage for the French. Germany back in possession. Ginter. Oh, that's a hard tackle by Antoine Griezmann, but fair. And Ginter isn't even complaining about it. All is fair in love and war, isn't that what they say? Ginter. Haven't seen much of an impact from Leroy Sané and Timo Werner. 7 more minutes. Speaking about Leroy Sané, here he is, and the left-hand side finds Rudiger. Robbed off the ball by Benjamin Pavard, his teammate at Bayern Munich. Sané. Rudiger. Kroos. Still Toni Kroos. Still Kroos. Motioning forward. Paul Pogba read that well. Searching for Karim Benzema. And now Germany are in all shades of trouble. Paul Pogba can free up Kylian Mbappe. Karim Benzema with an easy chance for 2. Yes, it's 2 for France. 84 minutes on the clock. And it looks like it's a sure victory for Le Bleu. A combination of Paul Pogba, Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema have put France 2 goals to the good. And that was always the danger for Germany. Ball possession, playing the high line, France with pace, and they can hurt you, and they have hurt them.
Good work from that man, Griezmann, who got the ball in the middle and got it through to Paul Pogba. Pogba did a little bit of turns there, got to see Kylian making a really good run but in the right hand side, got the ball straight to him, and Kylian, usually with a space and ease of strength and stamina, went with the ball straight down and saw also Karim Benzema in the left, placed the ball right in front of him, and Benzema took a shot, and it is 2 goals to nothing in favor of France.
I'll make that goal number 28 for Karim Benzema, but he hasn't counted, has it?
It has counted. It counted.
Sure, really.
Oh,
it's still 1-0 for France. And yes, Paul Pogba didn't release the pass in time, and yes, and indeed, just as we are, the French fans can't quite understand what's going on, but our best guess, though we're still yet to see what the explanation truly is
offside?
Yeah, offside for Kylian Mbappe in the build-up to what Karim Benzema thought would have been his 28th goal in his 85th appearance for France, and the first in 5 years for the Real Madrid man, but just a small matter, a big matter of offside.
2 disallowed goals already for the French national team in this game against Germany. That's to tell you how they have been up front. They've been decisive. They've also had the fair share of goals that have been disallowed too in this game. 2 goals already. It's left for Germany to take the chances now to level things up, or else it looks like they're going to be losing out to France once again.
Oh, it's Muller with the cross intended. It's gone straight to the arm of Erenayo, who would count himself lucky to have made his way out of the 18-yard area before being penalised for that. And substitutions, finally it is Matthias Ginter coming off, and it is Kevin Vollant of Monaco in France coming on. Well, it's Emre Can first for Matthias Ginter, and Kevin Vollant of AS Monaco in France coming on for Germany, replacing Robin Gosens. He's had his time out in the sun, but if nothing changes, it's going to be a loss for Germany, despite his best efforts, Robin Gosens and Ginter. It's a free kick. Adrien Rabiot's handball. Sané, it's high and wide, and it wouldn't count for Germany at all. The number 19 with the afro, which makes him unmistakable to sport, at the intention of driving the ball into the top corner. But there we see, it's just a matter of inches, isn't it? And it's indeed Kylian Mbappe who strayed into the offside position before teeing the ball off for Karim Benzema.
Both of them were inches offside, both Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe. They were inches offside, and it was the right call from the linesman to disallow, from the VAR for disallowing that goal. It was a right call. Benzema thought he has given France a second goal in the game, but it couldn't stand, it didn't stand, and it is still 1-0 of Germany in favor of France in about 89 minutes of game time play.
Well, it looks like Didier Deschamps is shutting off shop. It is Karim Benzema off for Corentin Tolisso. Coming on now to block the midfield spaces for the French, as Germany keeps searching for a response. Here's Kevin Volland up against Rafael Varane, who's given away the corner kick. Make that Corentin Tolisso his first contribution as a substitute, is preventing an assault from Germany, but in the process giving away a corner kick, which Toni Kroos is going to take from the left-hand side. Kroos to take. It is Griezmann with a lot of defensive contributions today, blocking the ball. Here is Sané, once of the blue of Manchester City. Twisting and turning, finds Chan of Borussia Dortmund. Emre Can back into Sane. Sane on the right hand side, shifts to his left to shoot it. Ball into the box, finds Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger is down on the top, clutching his face. Gets up quickly as soon as he understands that the referee wasn't falling for his tricks. Joshua Kimmich. It is Germany laying siege on the French. Pretty much what you've heard a lot of times during the Second World War. Germany, siege on the French. Kevin Volland. Would know a little bit about French football. Plays, of course, for AS Roma. And Didier Deschamps is quietly going about his business. Not always hugging the headlines when it comes to coaches, but he's achieved quite a lot in his coaching career, and in addition to a playing career that was filled with trophies as well. Played for Nantes, Marseille, Bordeaux, Juve, Chelsea, Valencia in his time as a player. He's coached Monaco, Juve, Marseille, and now coaching France. Let's see, it's been 6 minutes of added time. The 90 has expired. 6 minutes for France to hold the fort. 6 minutes for Germany to find a chink in the French armour to at least equal things and take away a point from this fixture. All of this happening as Adrien Rabiot, the French number 14, is down on the turf, needing attention from the medics, just as Ousmane Dembele is getting ready perhaps to come in place of the Juve midfielder Adrien Rabiot.
That's a little bit tricky, bringing in a striker.
Well, yeah,
a midfielder who can also push attack.
Yeah, certainly. He can share off the spaces. It's just about holding the shape for next 4 to 5 minutes. Sure, that's what will be in the thinking of Didier Deschamps, and he did. It's Adrien Rabiot unable to continue. It's been a long season. Players tweaking muscles here and there. This time Adrien Rabiot. Play has resumed after the timeout. Germany enjoying a numerical advantage now as Rabiot is off and Ousmane Dembele is yet to come on for the French. Here is Rudiger. Not the direction that they should be heading, not back to their goal, but should be looking to make an assault towards that of the French. Emre Can staying strong against the challenge of N'Golo Kanté, no less. Can. Good ball into Thomas Müller. Müller straight back to Emre Can. Can, incisive pass to Leroy Sané, looking to tread his way through the sea of blue shirts. Didn't succeed, but Germany still have the ball through Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich pursued by the returning Adrien Rabiot. It is Thomas Müller losing the ball momentarily, but Germany back on it. Kimmich wins the ball. It is Müller in the 18-yard area for the French, sends the cross inward. It's hoofed away by Raphael Varane, who is motioning his defence to stay focused. 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the 6 added already played. Soon all eyes will be on the Spanish referee, Carlos Grande. It's a deep ball in by Emre Can, evades Timo Werner of Chelsea. And France will take all the time in the world to get things going. They seek to chuck some more seconds off the clock. The eagle eye linesman already spotted Timo Werner for offside, and just more confirmation that France's second shouldn't have stood. Indeed, Kylian Mbappe was offside.
Yeah, Kylian Mbappe who had the ball and got the crosser to Karim Benzema, who was also at that point in time. Was the right call from the linesman, also from the video assistant referee.
Finally, Ousmane Dembele will get a run in the team. He's going to replace number 14, Adrien Rabiot, who's had a good performance, quietly effective. 24 years of age, Ousmane Dembele, born on the 15th of May 1997, the year before France's World Cup triumph, and home soil in 98. Making his 26th appearance for France, has scored just 4 times. The Barcelona winger has to help his team hold the shape for the next 2 minutes, at least. Chan into Toni Kroos. Here is Leroy Sané. Sané couldn't control. It's Lucas Hernandez. It's quite interesting how players put friendships aside. Until the final whistle, they are not friends. Sané and Lucas Hernandez aren't they? Even though they train every day, the same. Could probably spend more time with themselves than with their families and all.
That is why they are known as professionals. When it's time to be friends, we'll be friends. When it's time to be rivals, we'll be rivals. And that's what we get to see from professional footballers. When they play for their countries, they are obviously rivals to their friends who they've known and spent a lot of time with a club side. But when it comes to going back to being friends again, they transition like almost as if nothing happened.
Well, it is France looking to make the transition from defence to attack. Kylian Mbappe looking to go past Emre Can. I've been impressed by his cameo appearance. Steadied things a little bit, added a little bit of spark to the German midfield since his introduction. Emre Can, once of Liverpool and Juve, now of Borussia Dortmund. Here is Can. Can motioning forward, driving through the midfield. Good pass to Leroy Sané. Sané looking to evade the attentions of the... Oh, what a ball across goal, but Kevin Volland couldn't make the most of it. Well, cue the celebrations, Le Bleu, as I suspect that referee Carlos Grande has seen enough, and in just a matter of seconds will be sounding the whistle for the conclusion of what was built to be a tie full of fireworks. Hasn't proved to be so, but enjoyable all the same. In many ways, Hugo Lloris lumps it forward. Well, that's actually the way it is now. Well, 6 minutes, 46 seconds. Launching it forward is Manuel Neuer, looking for one more attack for the Germans. Will they find it in Timo Werner? Oh, there it trickles away, and Germany would not see that attack meets the light of day. Volland, number 9. And Hugo Lloris with the goal kick. Didier Deschamps looks a little bit impatient. And Le Bleu, the fans, can't wait for this one to be over. Sporting jerseys of the night, and it's about to be celebrations erupting for the French faithfuls. Grande keeps play going. 7 minutes 40 seconds. France with a throw to be taken by Benjamin Pavard, who is taking all the time in the world. And really the French can't wait to celebrate. This is massive 3 points for them, given that this indeed is the group of vets. And Germany, first game, are already looking in trouble. And that's game, set and match at the football arena in Munich. It ends with a loss for Germany and a victory for France. Matt Hummels with a good game in total. Unable to avoid the ball as it came in via Lucas Hernandez, as he diverted it to his own goal in what, as I did say seconds ago, would prove to be a vital 3 points for the French as they look to navigate Group F that has Portugal and of course Hungary still in the mix. And there's a conversation, Paul Pogba and Antonio Rudiger. And Koki, the 90 is up. What say he at the closing moments?
A good display later on by Germany. They also busted proceedings later on in the game. But the France were resolute when it comes to the defense. They didn't want to take any chances. They were solid. They defended as a pack, and that was what we saw. The attacks are weakening Mbappe's pace. We saw that. Karim Benzema was also there. 2 allowed goals from France. But Germany once again later on in the game looked a little bit better, but it wasn't good enough. Their next game, of course, will be up against Portugal, which they would have to win to keep their hopes alive in qualifying from this group known as Group F, the Group of Death.